Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brian Gubernick. I wanted to shoot a quick video. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Don't mind Mr. Tillman here behind me. But I wanted to shoot a quick video with respect to what I learned or what the best things at Family Reunion were that I picked up that I can share with you guys today. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to flip through my book because I sit and take notes like a madman when I'm there. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to as many panels and breakouts as I used to because I was running around and doing all sorts of things this year. But I did still get some great stuff. So first and foremost, one thing that I wrote down that I really liked that Gary said on, I think it was Saturday during the first session, the MREA 2, that Brett Tanner was actually on that panel. Gary said, your goal, our goal, all of us, should be to be a loser. He said you should all be losers. And what he was really referring to was the goal-setting process. If you set your goals to the level that you should, and you build, and you're building systems to those goals, you should never actually attain the goal itself. So if your objective is to do, say, 20 sales next year, double that goal and build the systems to that goal. And then if you fail miserably and miss that goal, you end up at, call it 25 or 30. You exceed your initial goal. So the point was, be a loser. And he spent some time stressing that. I've heard him say it time and time again. But I loved when he said, you guys should all be losers. Next, Gary talked a little bit about, and we've all heard this, that he's talking about the myth around everybody wants to work with me. That they won't work with anybody else on my team. They need to work with me. And Gary made a point. He said, what would happen if you started providing poor service? So if Brian Gubernick went out with a client or a friend or a family member, whatever it may be, and I'm thinking in my head, they only want to work with Brian, and I started providing poor service. Gary mentioned this, and the obvious answer is, well, they'd stop working with you. And they'd stop working with you because you provided poor service. So the point was that people do not work with you or do not necessarily want to work with you. They want to work with the standards and the service that you provide. And again, the analogy was, the story he was using was, provide bad service and see what happens. They're no longer really concerned about working with you. Next, Gary mentioned individuals with written goals are 39% more likely to achieve them. And individuals that have a degree of accountability in a coach or an accountability partner are 76.7% more likely to achieve them. Write your goals down, get a coach, or get an accountability partner. We'll skip this, and I wanted to get into some of the things that Ben Kinney actually shared in a session that I absolutely loved. Ben talked around, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find it here. Ben talked around some scripts. I went to Ben's List 500 Homes in a Year class. Unfortunately, I got there a little late, but it was awesome. And what Ben was talking about, he had two things that I got. Number one, when you're setting an appointment, or if you have an inside sales or somebody setting the appointment for you, when that individual is setting your appointment or you're setting your appointment, make sure you tie in something emotional such that the person or the prospect's not canceling your appointment. So for example, and I haven't practiced this, so this might come out terribly, but hey, Greg, it's great talking with you. Jason's going to be meeting with you on Friday at noon. Now, I want you to know something, Greg. I would really, really, really appreciate if you let me know if there's any issues whatsoever. Please disregard this ringing. If you let me know if there's any issues whatsoever with your appointment on Friday, because Jason commits a tremendous amount of time and energy to developing your plan for getting your home sold and doing the analysis with respect to the values. He's going to meet with you on Friday and take time out of his schedule and time away from him spending with his 21-month-old son and his wife and all these other things that he has outside of the office. So he's very, very much looking forward to meeting with you. But if anything comes up, please help me let Jason know such that he doesn't avoid or cancel time that he could be spending with his family. And that was I didn't do a great job with that, but the point was figure out an emotional tie-in to going on that appointment such that the person, they feel bad in the event they have to cancel. Ben also said, he also incorporated in that script something along the lines of, please promise me, because the amount of time that Jason will be putting into your analysis, and the time will be taken away from his family. That in the event you're talking with any other agents, which you probably shouldn't be, but if you were, that you'll meet with Jason first before you make any sort of decision. And I really like that. The other thing I like that Ben said, script-wise, that I found awesome, was asking for the referral at the time you list the property as opposed to at closing, where all of us usually ask for it, right? So Ben was saying, okay, Greg, and this is at the conclusion of a listing presentation. Greg, I have 3 goals I want to accomplish in listing your property. Goal number 1 is obviously to sell your property as quickly as possible for as much as possible. Goal number 2 is for this transaction to be the easiest transaction you've ever experienced. I literally want you to hit that Staples easy button at the end of this transaction. That's goal number 2. Goal number 3, though, is that over the course of this transaction, you're so excited and happy with the service that I'm providing that you commit to providing me 1 buyer or seller opportunity with friends, family, co-workers, whatever have you. So he was again saying, okay, here's 3 goals. I'm responsible for 2 of those goals. I'm going to ask that you take care of the 3rd goal. Is that fair? Is that fair with you, Mr. Seller? I'm going to sell this as quickly as possible and for as much as possible. I'm going to make this an easy transaction. You're going to hit the easy button, and you're going to commit to providing me with 1 opportunity. Is that fair? And I really, really love that script. The last thing that I had came out of the mastermind that we had Gary at the conclusion, and there was a lot of other things, don't get me wrong, but I got to go back in my notes here. There was a Gary Keller mastermind, and where is it? I'm sorry. It had to do with the givers and takers, and if you haven't read the book Give and Take, the gentleman that wrote that book, Adam, why am I blanking on his name? I thought I had the book around here somewhere. Adam, whatever his name is, he wrote a book on give and take, and he was our keynote speaker. And someone in Gary's mastermind session had asked the question, can you rehabilitate takers? In other words, if you have takers around you, in your world, on your team, whatever it may be, can they be rehabilitated? And Gary said, absolutely not. They cannot be rehabilitated. And that was important to me. I know that sounds rather trivial, and not to say that I have any takers here in my office, but I think we all know a few takers. And if you're like me, a high vector 2, a high I, you hold out hope, or you believe that you can fix them. You can make them more of a giver. You can make them come from contribution, or at least coach them or help them, guide them that way. And Gary pointed out that's just not going to happen. I found that pretty interesting. I think that's it for now. Hopefully that's, like I said, a few of the big things that I learned. There's certainly a lot more that I learned. I learned this. I actually debated going to family reunion this year. I've got a lot going on at this moment, and I'm sure as all you guys do. And I debated going, and I learned that I should never debate that every year I go to family reunion. It is literally better than the year prior. So make a commitment to go there this year. Mega Camp's phenomenal. Family reunion, I absolutely love. New Orleans, and I really hope you guys go. Sorry again I couldn't be there, but hopefully what I shared was of value. If you have any questions on this stuff, man, shoot me an email, give me a call. You guys know where to find me. Thank you.